Namaste, this is Ayesha, and this video contains 5 readings for people who I have chosen and I felt drawn to from those of you who have commented on the blog, on the post in Facebook. So here is my very first reading. I'm choosing this for, the first person I would like to read for is Janine, and you had asked me a question about visitations that you've experienced. And codes on walls. Well, what I can tell you is you are just, nothing is ever done without your spirit guides' permission, without them interfering or intervening. And this too is one such experience that you put through to test your curiosity. And depending on how you respond to this, you will be able to take this forward. Now, what you can probably do is you can meditate on the visuals that you've received, visitations. Try to interpret. If you don't seem to be able to understand what they are trying to say to you or what these codes are about, you can always meditate and ask your spirit guides. You can also probably do it through automatic writing. That would be a good way of doing it. Or if you still feel that it is not possible for you to get any answers, then I would say just go by the trust process. Understand that your soul knows whatever happened. And over time you will be able to comprehend this better. Okay? Now, Chantel Rose is the next person I would like to read for. Chantel, I feel that at this point in your life, you need to move forward without always holding yourself back to attachments that you've had with people and places. This is a good time for you in your life to focus on what you need to do in the future. I believe that you are a very highly skilled person, someone who has a lot of abilities inside of you, but you seem to hold yourself back because of doubt or fear. So you need to explore more of what you contain inside. Do not doubt your abilities. Do not doubt whether you can pull things off. You will be able to if you really set your heart to it. Next year seems to be an excellent year for manifestation, but this year is more about planning, so you might want to move forward into planning your future. Okay? The next person I would like to read for is Wendy Rom. Wendy, you seem to be having a pretty challenging time as far as emotions are concerned. Do not be afraid of expressing yourself. You have a block in your throat chakra which needs to be cleared at this point, and that is from lack of expression. And there's a block in your heart chakra as well, but it's not as bad as the throat chakra, so be more expressive. You need to focus on loving yourself more, on being able to, instead of assuming that people would understand what you mean, most of the times it's best to just say it. Whatever is in your mind, you have the right to expression, you have the right to believe in certain things, and obviously opinions of yours matter too, just as much as anyone else's opinion does matter. I would suggest that you spend a lot of time reflecting on your thoughts, on your life. When you are alone, whenever you have the time, it's best to reflect on your life and how you would like to take this forward. There are a lot of issues inside of you that you have not actually brought out, and they are basically, you need to do that inner work as well. That's what I feel. That inner work is important too. Okay? So before you bring in new people, before you get into new situations or anything new, that you have major decisions that require you to bring new things or people into your life, I would suggest that you do the healing that needs to happen. So it makes space and gives you clarity to move forward positively. Alyssa is next. Alyssa, and your reading here is your guides have been trying to reach out to you. I feel that your third eye, your gifts, you need to work on them too. There has been some urges from your guides. There seems to be some blocks as well that you need to work on. And I think that you need to pay attention to the signs that you're getting, the signs and messages that are coming from your guides at this point. Spend some time with yourself, whether it be early in the morning or late at night, whenever you do have time to meditate more. You need to also ground yourself, spend more time outdoors whenever possible. Your vibration is very fluctuating. It's probably because of some stress that you've been going through recently. Try to stay away from people who tend to, drain you consistently. You may want to focus on people who spend more time with you in a productive manner than those who simply dump their issues on you. All right? So choose people wisely, the ones who you wish to hang around with. That's about it. Elizabeth Sonia, fears of exploring gifts. Now, this is a common this is a very common question that I get from a lot of people, especially my students. Now, fear, doubt, and ego are common obstacles. They're very common. In fact, these three are consistently there until you figure your way around on how you can trust us more. The only difference is those who use their gifts, spiritual gifts, like any skills, the more you use it, the better it gets, and that's all there is to it. The reason why my gifts are better than yours probably is because I spend a lot of time working with them. It's my job. It's also something that I do consistently. So most people, unless they are practicing psychics or mediums, they do not have the need to use their spiritual gifts consistently, and therefore it needs a lot of practicing. Like the lack of practice is probably the reason why they don't feel their gifts are so strong, and they're often overcome by doubt or fear. So another thing that we need to understand is this: we are programmed in this world right from childhood into several belief systems, and these belief systems may not be very supportive of spiritual gifts. So that too is a form of a block. Okay, that too is a form of a block which we all gradually overcome, because after a point of time you cannot dismiss your experiences, you cannot dismiss the sights, you cannot dismiss the messages. Everything is so in your face, and that is part of the spiritual awakening experience. It's also a part of it, and the more you try to push it away, the more stronger it gets over time. So I would say that these fears that you have require some kind of distraction, and this distraction only happens when you are surrounded by people who are like-minded, or you make an effort to get yourself a mentor who can guide you through the entire journey of exploring these gifts. So you need to be exposed to it. So it's something that you need to look at as with a lot of curiosity and awe instead of fear. Transform your fear into curiosity. Transform it, because there is really nothing that can hurt you unless you believe it can. In 20 years of using my gifts for professional work, and having had these gifts since I was a child, there was very little, if any, incident where I can remember of being afraid of. And it's not because I'm protected. We are all equally protected. The only difference is I was curious. I was always curious. And to think of it, we all come from the other side and we go back home. That is home. This is the unknown, because we do not know what's going to happen. Not all of us do have a definite answer as to what's going to happen in the future. But on the other side, everybody is aware. Everyone is, connected to the one consciousness in a much deeper level than we are when we're here and incarnated. So this is basically the unknown, not that. So that's what you need to know the difference of. So these fears will go gradually. They will. You just have to understand that it's a process of learning. It's a learning curve that will get better with time. Okay? The next person I want to read for is Danielle Ellis. This is about your daughter, who you said is things are a bit challenging between you both. I can only say one thing, that will improve. Okay? This is her learning stage. This is a phase that is common to cause friction between parents and children. So just take it very gracefully and understand that things will change and improve over time. That's about all I can say about this right now. Thank you so much for commenting on the post, and I look forward to reading for many more of you in the future. So for this week, it's just these 5 of you. I hope you've enjoyed the session, and thank you so much to everyone who participated in this post. Thank you. Namaste.